Hi, it's Jane Taylor here from Habits for Wellbeing. Welcome to the clip on responsibility. A few years ago, I was so busy chasing this thing called success. Not that I knew what success was, but I had perceived it was everything outside of myself, and I was trying to be the best person that I could be. And it was really interesting that one thing led to another, and I ended up in a silent meditation retreat for 10 days. And during that time, I really got a lot of clarity, and some people may call it an awakening. But I really saw through to the core of who I was and saw how I was creating a lot of the suffering from the thoughts that I had believed of this person, that who Jane was, as opposed to who I really was. And from that moment and going through that retreat, I've really been unraveling many of these thoughts that I believed and what I had been conditioned to believe who I was as a child. And it resonates with a quote by Rumi, and he talks about, yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I'm changing myself. And that since that silent meditation retreat a few years ago, I've really been doing that. And part of that whole process has really been taking 100% responsibility for my own thoughts and seeing through them and inquiring deeply with them. And yeah, some days this has been extremely challenging, but I continue on the journey, and it's like I'm seeing the thoughts from an observer or a conscious awareness, and seeing that the thoughts are not me per se. They come in and they go out, as do my feelings, as well as the behavior that I am attributing at that time. And so I started to see that I didn't have to react towards some of the thoughts that I was thinking. I could choose to respond to them. And that really has created so much freedom within my own life. And Viktor Frankl talks about, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. And I can really resonate with that. So from the journey, I've really been taking full responsibility. And as I said before, some days are easier said than done. But I continue to go through that whole process. And I've done that through really identifying where I am now and being totally honest and transparent with myself. And then identifying any blocks or resistance behaviors, and yeah, sometimes they're self-sabotaging behaviors, and identifying what is now, what's happening in this moment. And in many ways, it's an untangling process or an unraveling process of those thoughts, and feeling deeply the emotions or feelings that are attached with that. And again, sometimes that's easier said than done, as I've said, because there has been some challenging experiences. But little by little, it's I'm feeling a lot more free and open, and have that a lot more space in my own world. Jim Rohn talks about personal responsibility. He talks about, you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. This is something you have charge of. So another way of looking at it, and you may have heard this, is identifying where you are living. Are you living above the line, or are you living below the line? Living below the line is, blaming or shaming someone, making excuses, denial or justifying something. Another way of looking at denial is, I've heard recently, don't even notice I'm lying. And that really resonated with me. Also that sense of entitlement. And then again, living above the line is taking full ownership and responsibility, and having that personal accountability and not blaming the external world. It's really coming in and inquiring deeply within ourselves. Byron Katie talks about it in relation to staying in my own business. And a quote from her, "I can only find three kinds of business in the universe: mine, yours, and God's. For me, the word God means reality. Reality is God because it rules. Anything that's out of my control, your control, and everyone else's control, I call that God's business." And this again, this quote, identifying I'm having a challenging situation, I just go back to myself and going, whose business am I in? Am I in mine? Am I in someone else's? Or I am in reality? So in order to take responsibility, it's about taking responsibility from now on and also what's happened in the past, and taking responsibility for our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviours. And the Dalai Lama talks about today, more than ever before, life must be characterised by a sense of universal responsibility, not only nation to nation and human to human, but also human to other forms of life. So if you have any questions or would like any clarity around what I've said in this video, please come over to the Facebook page or visit our website. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen, and have a great day.